What if the world map we know today was completely redrawn? What if, in an alternate 2025, the echoes of a dark past became our present reality? Imagine a world where the Axis powers, led by Nazi Germany, didn't fall in 1945, but instead their influence grew, shaping the very fabric of our modern lives. This isn't a history lesson. It's a journey into a chilling what if. Let's start with the global map. The Greater Germanic Reich wouldn't just be Germany. It would stretch from the heart of Europe to the Ural Mountains, a colossal empire built on a foundation of rigid control. Paris, once the City of Light, would be a regional administrative hub, its culture suppressed. London, having succumbed to a successful invasion, would operate under a puppet government, its iconic landmarks now symbols of a new order. Across the Atlantic, the United States, after a protracted and devastating conflict, would be a shadow of its former self. Following a negotiated peace, it would be a fractured nation, politically isolated and economically crippled, constantly watched by the dominant global power. The vibrant exchange of ideas and cultures we know would be replaced by a heavily monitored and restricted information space. Now, let's talk about daily life in this alternate 2025. Technology would have advanced, but with a sinister twist. The Internet? It would exist, but as a heavily censored and monitored network, a tool for state surveillance, not for global connection. Social media would be a platform for state-approved narratives, with every post, every comment, scrutinized. Dissent would be silenced before it could even find a voice. Imagine your smartphone not as a window to the world, but as a leash, tracking your movements, conversations, and even your interests for the state. Genetic science and medicine would have made leaps, but not for the well-being of all. The focus would be on creating a perfect lineage, based on twisted ideologies. Healthcare would not be a universal right, but a privilege reserved for those deemed worthy by the state. The incredible medical advancements we see today, aimed at curing diseases and improving quality of life for everyone, would be redirected to serve a discriminatory and exclusionary agenda. What about our society and culture? The diversity that enriches our world would be systematically erased. Art, music, and literature would be subject to strict censorship, forced to conform to a singular, state-approved aesthetic. The vibrant, multicultural tapestry of our cities would be gone. The freedom to express your identity, to practice your beliefs, to love who you choose, these fundamental rights would be non-existent. Society would be stratified into a rigid hierarchy, where your value is predetermined by your background, with no hope for social mobility. In this world, innovation would be stifled. The collaborative spirit that drives scientific discovery and technological progress would be replaced by suspicion and secrecy. The global race to combat climate change, to explore space for the benefit of humanity, would be abandoned. Instead, resources would be poured into military technology and internal control systems. The sense of a shared human destiny, of working together to solve our biggest challenges, would be a forgotten dream. Think about the simple freedoms we often take for granted: choosing what to read, debating ideas with friends, traveling to experience different cultures, or even just cheering for your favorite team in a global sporting event. In this alternate 2025, these simple acts of freedom would be considered subversive. The world would be a far quieter, grayer, and more fearful place. The global economy would be unrecognizable. Free trade would be replaced by a system of exploitation, where the resources of conquered territories are funneled to fuel the Central Empire. The economic powerhouses of Asia would either be occupied territories or vassal states, their economic potential harnessed for the benefit of the Reich. There would be no global marketplace of ideas, no startups dreaming of changing the world, only state-controlled corporations serving the regime's interests. This exploration into a world that thankfully never came to be serves as a powerful reminder. It highlights the immense value of the principles we fight for today: freedom, democracy, equality, and human rights. It shows us that history is not just a collection of stories from the past. It's a series of choices that have profound consequences for the future. The world we live in, with all its imperfections, was built on the sacrifices of those who stood against such a dark vision. They fought for a future where different cultures could coexist and enrich one another, where science serves all of humanity, and where every individual has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Remembering this alternate path underscores why we must remain vigilant in protecting these values. It's a call to action to appreciate the vibrant, diverse, and interconnected world we have and to continue working towards a better, more inclusive future for everyone. Thank you for joining me on this thought-provoking journey. If this exploration gave you a new perspective, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content that makes you think. Stay curious, stay engaged, and never forget the lessons of the past. See you next time.